True Northwest Magazine's second recorded interview. My name is Melissa. I'm our founder and editor-in-chief, and we're here today with Mina Kalyan, Mrs. International America Curvy 2023, life coach and self-taught baker, and so much more. Mina, why don't you tell us about yourself?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm super excited and grateful for this. And Melissa, I just love you, love the work that you are doing.
Thank you so much.
And so, as you said, my name is Mina Kalyan and I'm a life coach. And I am representing curvy women and girls all around the globe as Mrs. International America Curvy 2023. It is such an honor for me to have this title and represent all the girls and ladies who are curvy. Because, the reason I got into this is to inspire all of us to own our inner power, inner beauty, and to actually feel beautiful regardless of what we wear, the age, size, shape, gender, or ethnicity.
I love that. That's beautiful. So why don't you tell a little bit more about your background and then how you've ended up where you are now with the pageant and how that came to be?
Yes, of course. So I grew up in India and I came to Washington to do my master's from University of Washington, Bothell in computer science and software engineering.
Awesome.
So I've always been in tech until recently when I found out that, my calling was different. Series of events happened that made me who I am today.
Sure.
It was not something I had, it is not something I paved the path. The universe gave the path to me.
I love
and
that.
It just so happened. And I also learned a lot of lesson along the way, and I'll be sharing some of which today. So as I was going through my journey, I had series of health issues as well, which I later learned it was because of, unresolved mental and emotional reasons.
Right.
One fine day, I got to know about this pageant, and they had this kids option there. Kids could participate. And I have a daughter who's 3 years old, and she loves dressing up. She loves to dance and sing. And I thought maybe this could be something that I could do to encourage her skills. So I reached out to them, but unfortunately, she did not cut the age. Limit for that. And fortunately for me, when I spoke to the organizers, they suggested that why don't you join?
I love that.
Till the time I did not even think like that, because I was at my heaviest weight and I am still at my heaviest weight. And I was so self-conscious, and I was scared to think that I could participate in a pageant like that.
Right.
I was mulling over this thought, and I was talking with my husband, and he told, hey, this kind of, it is in your vision board. Like every year at the start, we'll have a, vision boarding session, me and my husband.
I love that you guys do that together. That's awesome.
Yes, he was not very interested at first, but now he loves it because, we have seen the power of it.
Sure. Setting those intentions.
Yes. Yeah. So then he suggested that, no, if you don't try it now, you will definitely regret it.
Right.
And, even after he told me that, I was still thinking because, would I be able to cross my limiting beliefs and go there and stand in front of anyone and walk in the ramp? Because I have no idea what that is. I am not from fashion background.
Right.
I have interest in designing. I have, interest in dressing up really well, but I mean, it's an entirely different game for me.
Oh, absolutely. I would feel the same way.
And I have not gone in front of stage for any other thing, for that matter, in front of that much audience.
Totally.
Right? So, but as I was going through that, I was also, constantly working on myself because, 6 months before that, I had started my life coaching journey. I enrolled to get my certification.
Awesome.
And I was working on myself. And I realized that was my number one limiting belief. And I was actually, it's more of a fear factor for me.
Right.
And I don't want to live in fear anymore for any reason. So then I enrolled. And then magic happened. The universe has its way.
Yes.
And then I won the title, and now I am here spreading this message, which is very, very close to my heart because I have seen how fulfilling it is to overcome your fear.
Oh, yeah. And I know that is a message, and your story is so inspiring because so many of us have had areas where we can relate so much in life, and the fact that you're able to identify that limiting belief and then overcome it truly touches me. Your story made me emotional writing it when we did that for the feature, because it's just so powerful and your message is so powerful.
Thank you.
Of course. So what was the pageant experience like? Are there any big learnings you had as before you went in not knowing really anything, and then having been surrounded by that community and that atmosphere?
Yes, absolutely. I learned a lot of things because, it has been a very empowering journey for me. First of all, I learned, what it could be when you believe yourself.
Yes.
And there are going to be scenarios or situations in the journey that is going to test you.
Oh, yeah.
I got so intimidated in the rehearsals, thinking, how am I even going to match any of those people who are so gorgeous in and out, right? Then I remembered that, their purpose is different. My purpose is different. I was there for a very, very specific reason, to overcome my fear.
Right.
And to give my 100%.
Right.
So that's, after that, in whatever journey I'm in, even now I'm in a journey to, 46th Mrs. Universe as the first curvy woman. And always, I remember this. I remember the time when I was on that stage for the first time in International America Pageant. And I thought to myself, okay, this is the day I'm marking in my calendar, because from this day on, I'm giving my 100% wherever it is.
Ooh, you gave me goosebumps.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the moment I wake up, I wash my face to the end of the day where I remove my makeup. In everything, I have decided to give my 100%, and I try that every single day. And it's been extremely rewarding. Not only in the monetary or in a quantitative metric, but in a very qualitative way for me, for my own personal metric.
Oh, absolutely. What do they say when you look good, you do good, or something like that? It's like that, putting that intention, when you put that effort into yourself, it sets the cadence for the day. Just like making your bed in the morning sets that positive tone.
Yes, absolutely. what you put in the universe, you get it 10 times more. And I strongly believe in it. If it's positive thought, you get more positivity. If you're putting your 100%, the universe is seeing, everyone is connected. I strongly believe that.
Absolutely.
And everyone is going to, believe and see that in you, see that, beauty in you.
Absolutely.
And for them to do, first you need to see that.
That's the key, right? You have to unlock it in yourself first. I love that so much. I think that would be a great segue to move into, like, how has this pageant impacted you as a woman, as a mom, as just a fellow human being out in the world, having this platform? What has that done for you?
No, in short, it has confirmed what I know already, that my purpose is to spread kindness and to inspire people, especially, curvy women and young girls, to believe in themselves and be kind on themselves. I remember when I was growing up, I used to get comments from my own family members or friends, saying that, why are you always fat? This dress doesn't fit you there. This, it's too tight, or, don't wear this dress. And it used to make me feel very sad.
Yeah.
Had I had, at that time, if I had had this kind of, insight, I would not have felt that sad, and I would have cherished that moment.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like, because of instances like this, I feel like I might have lost some beautiful memories from my childhood, beautiful moments from my childhood. And I don't want to do that anymore. Like, as I said that day, when I look back to my wedding photos, I don't see what I felt that day.
Sure.
I felt like I did not look so good. I was constantly, very self-critical of me.
Right.
Which I think it's not needed. And that's what this pageant has told me, and that's what it has, reiterated the message, the purpose that I strongly feel, as a life coach and as a pageant winner, especially for, curvy title.
Absolutely.
I feel like regardless of the gender, I want everyone to believe in themselves and own their power.
I love that. And I know when we had talked for the feature in the magazine, you shared a little bit about it being really meaningful for you to have your daughter watching you. Do you want to expand on that at all?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So for the first few years, I was managing her completely because, it was pandemic. I did not get any help. And I could not even get help because everything was on lockdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also had a complicated, pregnancy. And it was very tough. And one fine day, I noticed that she was just following me everywhere, and she is mimicking my actions. And it hit me so strong that I cannot be this powerless person anymore.
Sure.
And when I was on that stage, I saw my husband carrying my daughter, and she was just looking at me. And I was in the center ramp, just making my way. And that moment, it was like a light bulb moment for me that, okay, this person is watching me. She's a small kid now, but she's a person. She is, she impacts so many people in her life.
Right.
And if I'm a good role model for her, that's enough for me, right? Because, each one of us, if you're a good role model for one person, that's spreading so much positivity and, kindness into the world.
Absolutely. That I think we talked about this last time, that ripple effect. Is
Yes.
You pay it forward to someone and they go pay it forward on. So that's huge. And I know as a female, being young, there's so much pressure, and it's such an impressionable time of our lives. So it's so lovely that your daughter has such a great role model and someone really out there embodying their mission and what they're all about. So that is so huge for her. I love that.
Thank you so much. I try because, regardless of, how she grows up, the shape or anything, I want her to feel really beautiful inside,
Right.
I want her to feel blessed. And that's what I want for every one of us.
I love that. We have enough of society telling us the opposite. So I absolutely believe more voices like yours should be lifted up. And that is the message we all need to hear, because there's beautiful parts about every single one of us, for sure.
Yes, yeah. And I see comments in one of my neighborhood Facebook groups. I saw a lady, she was bullied in some grocery stores by teenage girls.
Okay.
On her shape. Then I reached out to her and then I talked to her. Okay, tell me, how are you feeling? Are you okay?
Right.
And
not
then
many people ask,
And then I told her, feel beautiful inside. It doesn't matter what anyone tells. It's matter how you are feeling.
Exactly. I love that idea that beauty isn't necessarily an affirmation from anyone or anything. It's a feeling. I think associating beauty with a feeling could be a very profound concept for people to chew on, because it detaches it from your appearance or your body shape or anything like that.
Yes, yeah, it's very important because law of attraction works on feelings.
Sure.
When you feel really, really good, you get good thoughts, your action changes, and then the universe conspires to make your good feeling happen.
Yes, absolutely.
And on the other day, I was telling someone that, as you know, I am preparing for Mrs. Universe.
Yes.
And I do my visualization exercises.
Amazing.
And what I try to do is, regardless of whether I win or not, I want to feel good on that stage.
Absolutely.
Because see, even if I win, but I'm not feeling good, and I'm not visualizing that. And on the day when they are crowning me, let's just say I won and then they are crowning me, but I'll still have this feeling where I'm not completely fulfilled, and whatever action I do after that is going to resonate that feeling.
Absolutely.
Then what is the purpose of doing all these things, right?
Absolutely. And our energy is so contagious. So whether you are aware of it or not, that energy is spreading out. So absolutely. And I love that you take the effort to make sure you're in that right mindset. So when that day comes, the moment comes, you don't let it pass you by.
Yes, yeah, I just, I want to feel really, really happy. And that's what I feel like, the feeling of blessedness is beauty.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
And whatever I do with that feeling is going to make me fulfilled.
Absolutely. I love that. Awesome. You hinted at the Mrs. Universe pageant, so why don't you jump into what's next and how you plan to use this platform to continue on?
Yes, absolutely. So, when I won International Curvy, so a little bit rewind, I did not go there thinking I would do all these things.
Sure.
I had no idea. But then when I went there and then as I'm walking on the street, or as I meet people in networking events, they come to me, ladies who look like me come to me and say that they consider my win as their win, and then they're just so happy and tell me stories of how they reacted differently in certain situations which they otherwise they would not have reacted in a positive way.
Right.
And it just inspired me. And then my coach Meenal from Rocks Coaching Academy, she also she encouraged me to participate in Mrs. Universe.
Cool.
And because there are like 120 or so countries participating, and it's such a huge platform, and I will be the first curvy woman of Indian origin to participate there. And again, I'm continuing my same message. That's my purpose. I want to go in the biggest stage possible to spread the message, because still I'm at my heaviest weight. I am working on it, but not to be even more healthier, but still, right, this is who I am right now, and I'm accepting it 100%, and I'm going to go there. And my only purpose there is for every woman and girls who are like me to see they can also go there and participate. No one is going to discriminate you because of your shape or color or age.
I love that.
And even if they do, don't let that affect you.
Right.
And that's the message I want to convey, and that's why I'm going there.
I love it.
And I hope universe blesses me this time too.
Absolutely. We are all rooting for you here for sure. So you'll have your little fan crowd over here.
Thank you so much, guys. Absolutely. It means a lot.
Absolutely. And then I know that you do some charity work as well, and you utilize these platforms to help support that. So would you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. So, even before I started on this, pageant and the fashion world, I started my nonprofit, Mina's Bake to Give. It is my child, another child, I would say. Because I wanted to do it like 3 years back, but at that time I got health complications like chest pain, and then I lost my job due to recession.
Right.
But then it hit me, right, there is going to be something one way or the other, and with whatever savings I had, I started this initiative. And the concept is each year I help one non-profit organization that needs that extra hand.
Awesome.
And what I essentially do is, I love to make cakes.
Right.
You can buy pastries from me, and instead of giving me the money, you will directly donate to the nonprofit. And I also do donation drives for diapers, wipes, and formulas that directly helps local families through babies of homelessness.
Amazing. Awesome.
Yes, and I'm partnering with other nonprofit organizations in this area to, give back to the community.
Awesome. And you'll likely continue to see that area grow as you continue to utilize these platforms and spread your message?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Right? Because, earlier we were discussing about how it is important to talk about the support for kids.
Absolutely.
Regardless of all the adults are going through, there is very less support and focus on the kids.
Absolutely.
And that's why I chose to help, babies of homelessness. Because, if you think about it, kids are the next generation. They are the pillars of the society.
They are important. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And they're also most vulnerable. And I want to help them. And I'm using these platforms to raise awareness for these causes.
Awesome. I think that's such a cool additional layer to everything that you stand for in your message, and just knowing that not only do you talk about it, you walk the talk, you take action. So I love that.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
And see, there is another cause that's really near to me is domestic violence. And there are a lot of really great organizations that helps the victims. My purpose, I feel, is to help the kids who are from those families.
Absolutely. Because we were saying earlier, they don't really have a choice, and they're just put in these situations, and they lack a lot of the tools and resources that an adult might have to get help when they need it, or even know to ask for help.
Yes, absolutely. And as a life coach, now I know that, all these traumas that we acquire in our childhood are going to manifest in your physical body, like illnesses, or in your behavior through the mental pattern. And, these are all the scripts that you program, the inner scripts, and that's how you're going to behave and attract, right? And when we are talking about blessedness and beauty, we need to give more importance to the kids, because we want to give this positivity to them. So when they grow up, they give to another person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can see the effects of the opposite having been true, and kids not getting that support, and it turns out into like what the society is today and the generations that we have now. So I love that you're not just focused on change here and now, you're really focused on the longevity of change and creating a better future for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. Sustainability in any aspect is very close to my heart, right? And that's why I'm also working with other community members to launch a newsletter focusing on holistic mental health, especially for moms and youth.
Awesome. I love that, and I can't wait to see more about that. Awesome.
Thank you.
Of course. So I have a fun optional question for you. And I know that you've literally had the attention of a huge audience and a big stage, but if you had the attention of every single person in the world, what would you say? What would you tell them?
So one of the very powerful statements that I read and I strongly believe is, you have the power to choose.
I love that.
Whatever situation you are in today, you have the power to change it. And in order for you to change, you first need to choose that other option. Mm-hmm. Whatever stage you are today, you can change it for the better. When you choose, that means when you believe.
Oh, that is so powerful. And I'm going to take that advice and put it in my back pocket as well, because I think often we get swept up and forget that we do have a choice and we do have a stand for what we want our lives to look like and how we want it to feel. So yes, I love that. Awesome. So how can people get in touch with you and connect with your pageant journey and everything you have going on?
Yes. I would love for all of you to connect with me through my Instagram handle, Mina Kalyan. And my website is Coaching with Mina, and other Instagram handle where I'm constantly giving life coaching tips that you can apply is Life Coach Mina. And I'm assuming you will share these links also in the description, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you guys can find it there too.
Perfect.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I had such a blast chatting with you. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and stage to spread this message. And I want to spread love and a lot of positive prayers to you guys.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you so much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Woo! We did it.
Yes.
That went great.
You were awesome.
Awesome. I'm so glad. That's where those lessons of I know communication is key in every single relationship, whether it be your parents, your friends, your romantic partner, whatever. And so I think those are all great learning opportunities, because really most things can get resolved with clear and open communication.
Yes, yeah. And adding to that, what I have also realized is, communication with ourselves is also very, very important.
Huge.
And that's where I lagged a lot.
Right. And that's that's very profound, because if we aren't even in the know of what we think or what we feel, how can we go and do anything, aligned with ourselves out there in the world? Yeah.